This episode of Mobile Geeks is brought to you by GoToMeeting.
Hi guys, Sasha from Mobile Geeks here, and I need to tell you a little bit of a story before we're starting with the device itself, because I think it was like back in August 2012 when I stumbled upon a Kickstarter campaign about the Ouya, a new gaming console based on an NVIDIA Tegra 3 SoC. And I was so excited about this because I'm also an old school gamer and I love all these indie games that I immediately chipped in I think like $265 for the limited edition. So we got one with an additional controller, and we're kind of hoping, because they told us that they're going to etching some name into the controllers. But anyways, like 3 days ago, I received this commercial invoice saying, you know what, we have a shipment coming from Hong Kong and it's the Ouya. And that was the first thing that I saw while I opened the box, and I really love this attitude, right? Because I really wish them all the best. I think they raised roughly around $12 million, one of the most successful Kickstarter campaigns in the history of crowdfunding, and well, now it is here, and I would love to show you a little bit about this device. So let's take a look what's inside of the box. Of course, we've been already playing around with it. So this is an unboxing after the reboxing. After the unboxing. That's the Ouya itself. That's this little sweet limited edition version, which comes in a different color. You can see how compact this is. By the way, that's the power button. So we have an HDMI out, a USB 2.0 Ethernet connector, that's a micro USB connector, and a connector for your USB, and that's about it. And they have some fans here on the back. Actually, no, it became quite hot while we're trying out the latest games. That's one of the Ouya controllers, and there's one thing about this Ouya controller. It's a little bit difficult to figure out how to get the batteries in there. Well, we had to figure it out on our own. You're just opening this kind of lid here. There's a lid on both sides. Yeah, there you go. You're getting the battery in there, and then you're good to go. Plus, we also got an additional controller. It's this fella over here. In general, the look and feel of the controller, I just love it, right? It's very well balanced, the way that they put some more weight here on the top just to balance out the battery rate, which is more on the bottom. That is pretty cool. I like the way the buttons here on the back are feeling the physical feedback of it. And besides that, this is a kind of typical 2 analog, 1 digital, and you know, these 4 digital button setup. And then we have this little Ouya button, which will always take you back into the main menu. So controllers, and last but not least, of course, we also needed a PSU. That's this little one, and it comes with an HDMI cable, which in my opinion is kind of short. But anyways, it works for us. And now let's check out the Ouya. So let's boot up this little beast. There you can see that's the Ouya button. You will also find this button on this design on your controller. Let me tell you a little bit about the specification. It's based on a Tegra 3 SoC. That means it's a quad-core ARM Cortex-A9, which comes with an additional companion core. So when you're in the menu, it just uses 1 core. It has 1 GB of RAM and 8 GB of internal storage. And that's the basic menu. Over here, I'm logged in with my Ouya account. And then you have Play, Discover, Make, and Manage. But first of all, as you can see, I have to pair my controller, which is pretty easy to do. Here's the controller. Just press the Ouya button in the middle. So let's see if that works. Let's go back to the main menu and let's take a quick look at the UI. I told you already. Play, Discover, Make, Manage. On Play, you will find all your recent installed games and all the ones that you've been downloading or that you've downloaded. Actually, we just got an update of the UI here, and it looks completely different to the one that we've been using yesterday. So as you can see, I've been downloading a bunch of games already. Let's just go back to the main menu and let me just walk you through Discover, because Discover connects you to the Ouya shop. And over here you can see we are featured, we have a VIP room. So these are the exclusive Ouya titles, a showcase by some special developers, founding fathers. I think these are also games from developers and from software houses that were supporting the Ouya project from the very beginning. Couch gaming with friends, what's trending right now, different genres over here, and sandbox. In the sandbox you will find all the games that are, let's say, starting and that you can install, but you can't be sure if they're actually working. And this is something where I would say, you know what, Ouya guys, just get rid of this, right? If it's not working, just don't upload it and just don't link it to your shop, because a couple of these games are just not starting. But I'm going to talk about this some later. Let me show you a little bit about the menu for all the settings, so I can set up my notifications here. Right now there are no notifications. Network, I can pair my controllers, my account, and the system, which gives you all MAC address and whatnot. And I'm not sure, will it also tell me about how much internal storage I have left? Maybe not. Well, once again, over here you can immediately see, right, hey, we are running on Android. Of course we do. Let's go back. So this is one of the few screens that are popping up that are reminding you of Android. With the previous version, whenever I wanted to install a new game, a new Android screen was popping up, and it was kind of disturbing that it was a completely different UI and the way you had to handle it. So they worked on this, and actually I talked to one of their supporters today on Twitter, and they've been telling me in terms of the frequency of the updates they're rolling out, they're really going to improve the game in the future. Okay, let me just show you a little bit how the performance of the Ouya will look like. Let's play something like, okay, I need to just show you this game because I absolutely love it. So this is just a perfect game for the big boys. If you ever wanted to drive a crane, here we go. So I guess this is an indie game. I just need to push this little weight over here. I can just move. There you go. When you're doing a double click on the Ouya button, it takes you back to the main menu. And once again, I just love the way they improved the UI to the previous version. The overall performance improvement is just huge. It was kind of laggy before, and this wasn't a matter of the Tegra 3 SoC, which in my opinion delivers you enough performance to run all the latest games, and especially a proper looking front end. It was a matter of the software that Ouya TV was using before. Let me show you something that is also coming straight out of the Tegra zone from NVIDIA. It's called Puddle. Here we go. So it's a THD, that means it's a Tegra optimized version for the Tegra 2, Tegra 3, Tegra 4, depending on what kind of platform you have. This is once again a puzzle game. Okay, there's the OK button. So I need to collect this water here, and by just tilting the screen from the left to the right, I can reach those buttons here on both sides, and this will open this next trapdoor. And once again, I have to tilt the screen. Let's make sure that I keep all the liquid together. And then I just need to move it around through all these tunnels here. Oh, there's heat. And here we go again. So I'm glad that we are showing this right now and that we could reproduce this, because every while and then, especially with this Puddle game, it just brought us back to the mainstream, which is a little bit annoying, unfortunately. Let me show you something else. I just love Vector. Vector is so much fun, and this is mainly because of the perfect animation of the main character. So this is a jump and run, and it's playing in a not so distant future anymore after all these NSA Prism League thingies that are happening right now. By the way, the intro is absolutely amazing. It's very artsy-fartsy. You are one of these guys that are working probably in one of these secret services, and then out of a sudden you figure out, oh, you know what? I'm brainwashed and I need to escape, and that means you just need to run. I'm going to show you how that looks like. So let's start with the downtown location, and with the first level. And here we go. Beautifully animated. And a great concept. So I need to escape this guard, and as soon as he is getting close to me, he will just hit me. Oh! 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 Here we go. Beast Boxing Turbo. That looks pretty good, huh? Awesome. Love it. So I finally connected a USB drive to it, and it contains some special ROMs for this Nintendo 64 emulator, and it looks absolutely fantastic. Look at this, Mario Kart 64. We've been also playing Zelda on it, and we're of course doing additional videos about the Ouya games, but I would just love to show you what this console is capable of. And as you can see, it is running perfectly smooth and so much fun to play these old games. It's just so much fun. We have drinking games on here. We have You Don't Know Jack, which is also fantastic, like a kind of trivia quiz game that you can play with your friends. And you can actually even connect your smartphone or your tablet to it. Come on, Sasha, come on. Ah, that was a close one. So this just gives you an idea of the performance of the Ouya, what it's capable of. And before we're coming to our final verdict, why don't we hear from our sponsors? Being a road warrior, you'll know that I'm always looking for the easiest way to keep connected. If you haven't already checked out GoToMeeting with HD faces, you really should. You can share the same screen and launch or join meetings from anywhere using your computer, smartphone or tablet. You can even present from your iPad. I spend a lot of time traveling, so the ability to effectively share information from anywhere in the world is why GoToMeeting is such a powerful tool for presentations and demos to large groups. Business is often personal, so being able to feel like you're in the same room is invaluable. Visit GoToMeeting.com, click the Try It Free button and use the promo code GEEKS. Remember to use the promo code GEEKS to support our show. So what can we make out of this $99 gaming console? I remember like almost a year ago when they started this on Kickstarter, how this was just kind of exploding all over the internet. I think the Ouya guys somehow democratized the gaming console market. Because after the Ouya, there were so many other companies kind of trying to adopt this concept. And we're actually also going to review some of their competitors in the future. But you know what? The Ouya is where it all began. And to be honest, what I love about this project is not only that this is a record funding on Kickstarter, not only that this is a really good looking device, but I like it that they were really taking a risk, right? They've been trying to come up with something new, and the Ouya is something new. When we look back at the history of the gaming console, this was all about the big companies. Like it started somehow with Atari, with the very first Pong, right? We had Sega, we had Nintendo. Then Sony was kicking in with the PlayStation, and finally Microsoft also entered this market. To see a newcomer, a startup coming up with something really exciting and really interesting, something that is kind of, you know, just keep going on with it and playing and playing and playing, and especially all these old games, right? I'm playing a Super Mario again and Mario Kart, which I've been playing for hours when the Super Nintendo came out. It kind of connects me to this time of these early consoles again, and that's a lot of fun, especially when you're playing it with some more people. Ouya also tells you that this isn't all about the latest graphics, right? To have all the great 3D and shading and lighting effects, right? Sometimes it's just about the concept of a game. And there are some fantastic games on there. The indie scene kind of needed somehow a distribution channel, in my opinion. And I think the Ouya can be this distribution channel. When it comes to the performance of this device, a lot of people were complaining, oh, there's only a Tegra 3 in there. Hey, the Tegra 3 still has a lot of juice left for some future games on it. And I'm sure, but I think the Ouya CEO, she just made a statement a couple of months ago saying there will be a new Ouya every year, which is perfectly fine. Well, basically, they can just keep this design. They're changing the PCB with a new SoC on there. But right now, to meet this price point, and you know what, they deserve to make some money, I think it was a safe bet to go for Tegra 3. If I would rate the Ouya right now from 1 to 10, I have to give it a very, very solid 7+, let's say 7.6 something. And this might be a little bit contrary to what we've seen from all the other early reviews, whether it was with The Verge or Engadget. They've had some very mediocre reviews, but this was a matter of the software. Right? We just received this update today, completely new front end. The performance is much better right now, and the way you can search for new content, for new apps, is much easier. 5-6 weeks ago, there wasn't much gaming content on the Ouya portal, on the Ouya store. Now, it is just different, and especially with these emulators for the Super Nintendo and Nintendo 64, and hopefully for a PlayStation 1 in the future, this just brings it onto a whole new level. What I also love about the Ouya are these games that you can play with your friends, like You Don't Know Jack. Do you know Jack? I'm constantly mixing up the title of it. Don't Know Jack. There's some drinking games on there, which should be fun, and we're definitely going to try it out over here in Taipei. And I've never seen, I think that's the best indicator how successful the Ouya is. Whenever I saw Nicole play in our office, it was one of these build-em-up games, My Little Farm, My Little whatever. Don't shoot at me right now, it's true. They should know this. And then I saw her playing over here for like 12 hours just to get into this idea of the Ouya and to get the idea of these older games again, and also to bring back these memories that we all have. Well, those that are a little bit older right now can remember the very first console. I remember the first Atari Pong machine, right? And the Atari VCS 2600. I think it's just amazing to get this idea again, to get the idea of, you know what, sometimes it's only a matter of getting a bunch of pixels on a screen, right, and come up with a crazy game idea. It's not a matter of having a 1080p resolution in a game. You can run amazing games at a resolution of 320 by 200, even on a big screen. I know it looks pixelish. But it's a matter of the game itself. And that's why I also think it's a matter of the idea of the Ouya, and not about its specifications, that it's running the latest SoCs or that it's running the latest graphic cards, that it can compete with the PlayStation 3 or Xbox 330. No, that's not about it. And you know what, this little sign that they put in each and every box, it told me a little bit about their idea. Those guys really love what they're doing, right? Not that the PlayStation developers or the Xbox developers or the Nintendo Wii developers don't love what they are doing, right? But this just tells me about a deep love for the indie gaming scene and gaming in general over all the ages and over all these decades. So thank you for believing. Well, Ouya, thank you for making this. If you're looking for a cheap and fun console, right, there is just no way that I couldn't recommend you to get the Ouya. We totally love it. I'm Sasha from Mobile Geeks. That's the Ouya that you guys are going to buy right now. Thanks for watching.